Goeiemorgen, good morning, kia ora, and to my South African friends away. Guys and girls, name is Jan Viljoen, all the way from Welcome Bay here in Tauranga. It's on the North Island, and this morning we're talking to Edward. Edward is all the way from Ruakaka.
Morning.
Good morning, Edward. Can you
Good
see
morning.
us there?
Yes. Sorry?
Can you see us there?
No, I can't see you, Jan. Can you see
Oh,
me?
all right, you are definitely in the live feed. So Edward is joining us this morning for the first time ever from a cell phone. But Edward is definitely in the live feed. I can see you on the other side as well. Edward, one or two questions that normally is asked. What? Where's Ruakaka?
So Ruakaka is about 2 hours drive north of Auckland, on the east coast. It's our closest city is Whangarei, which is about 30 kilometers north of Ruakaka.
Okay. I've been to Ruakaka previously, and there's a massive refinery. That's where Edward is also as well working there. What do you do for time? What do you do for time off? What?
Yeah, it's actually a lot to do in terms of the outside sort of life, outdoors life. There's lots of fishing the guys do, cycling,
Okay.
mountain bike, boating. Myself, I go fishing once in a while, and I like to cycle around.
Eduan, you work for the refinery yourself. Do you guys do the normal barbecue, or do you do the gas thing there?
No, we don't do the normal barbecue as far as we
Okay.
can. The gas we only use in emergencies when the
All right. So,
charcoal is finished.
so presumably you do charcoal, not wood.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't come across wood here yet that's readily available, and that works very well. So
That is a bit of
until
a
I do,
problem.
yeah.
Yeah. Tell me, weekends, except for Brian, do you guys, or barbecuing, do you guys take trips around? Do you go and see some areas? What touristy things are there to do?
Yeah, so there's a few around. Like you mentioned, you went to Pahia. We've been there, and Russell. Then there's also Tani Mahuta, close to Dargaville.
Okay.
It's about an hour's drive. And there's lots of beautiful beaches with warmish water. Yeah, there's a lot to do around.
It's a beautiful area. I mean, if you go up to Pahia and so forth, lovely area around there. But tell me, your local town, Whangarei, that's a bit of a drive from you guys. Locally in Ruakaka, do you have your normal shops, your Pack and Save, these type of things?
No, Ruakaka is pretty small. I think our population is maybe 4,000 or so.
Okay.
So we've got a Fresh Choice, and then there's some small local shops, bakery, a butchery,
All right,
pharmacy, but no, there's no choice of shops. If we want to have like a Countdown or Pack and Save, New World, we need to go to Whangarei.
Okay. And where do you guys buy your boerewors?
Well, we've got a contact in Auckland. A friend of mine goes there once in a while that sells boerewors. And I also used I used the website previously, that boerewors.nz, that one.
Oh, okay, yeah. I also buy from them. They're actually local down here in my place in Tauranga, eh?
Okay, so you can go to the shop and buy. I have to wait for it to come through the mail.
Currently, we also got to get it through the mail because of the lockdown.
Okay.
You probably have been working the whole time, eh?
Yes. Now I've been working by my company, Whirly, the engineering company. They set us up to pretty well to work from home.
All right.
So we do what we can. I'm in the project space, so yeah, we can carry on with around about 70% of our activities. Luckily, obviously our site work is restricted.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've been working throughout.
All right. How many other South Africans is in the area there?
I know about probably 30 just in Ruakaka and 13 Point, which is the closest towns.
Okay.
Yeah, there's probably others that I don't know about. So.
All right. If there's anybody that's listening this morning and you want to ask questions regarding the area, please feel free to drop them there. I'll read them out to Eduan, and then we can take it from there. Eduan, other question I normally get is, except fishing, do you yourself do any cycling?
Yes, I have a bicycle. So when I came here in South Africa, I didn't really cycle. The area where we were, the roads weren't so good. So yeah, I have a bicycle. So during the not lockdown, I go for a ride in the mornings, and then on weekends maybe for a longer ride, just around.
All right.
Yeah.
So that helps a lot. But during lockdown, you haven't been out yet?
No, we just go once a day, just in the area local.
Okay.
My son and I, just for a short cycle around, looking for the teddy bears in the windows.
Okay. Yeah, I'll one day explain that to the South Africans, but they locked down. They're not even allowed to go out. What about restaurants and coffee shops? Is there stuff like that in that area?
Yes, there are a few, not a big selection. There's one restaurant or sort of a pub close to the refinery. And then there's a coffee shop in Ruakaka, one or two. And then in Waipu, which is about 10 kilometers south of us, that's where my son's school is as well. There's a McLeod's Pizza Barn and an Indian restaurant, which is pretty good.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's not like town where you can walk to a few. You have to drive, and there's not a big selection, but they're pretty good.
Yeah. What I remember of the area, it was that it's very flat there.
Yes, it is extremely flat. There's not a lot of hills around, so that helps with the cycling bit as well.
I would believe that. Where I'm living in Welcome Bay, it's on top of the hills. So for me to cycle, it's really tough. But I have bought myself an electric bike. Yeah. The question here: what about fruit and veg shopping? We did a bit about the groceries, but what about fruit and veg? Is there places that sell that near you?
Yes, there's a sort of a general dealer at they call it the Big Red Tomato. So there's some fruit and veg there, fresh, and obviously in the supermarket. But like I think everywhere in New Zealand, I find it pretty expensive. So sometimes if you have a friend on a farm, sometimes they'll give you some fresh fruits or few just.
All right, it looks like we've lost Eduard somewhere along the lines there. Let's see if we can get him back. That the one problem with these little towns is that the internet link up is not always that good. So why we've lost him, I don't know. But all right, let's carry on. I've been asked a few things this morning. Let me just open that there. So one of the sad things about the smaller towns is, as I said, is the internet, and sometimes you just struggle. So we've lost Eduan. But Karina this morning sent me a heck of a list of stuff that she wants me to talk about. So let's see what we can do here. I actually wanted to ask Eduan this question this morning, but Karina has got here. She asked about drinking water. Now, one thing South Africans don't know about drinking water in New Zealand is the fact that sometimes you need a tank. Even places like Auckland, you need a tank, and that's rainwater coming into your tanks, but it rains that often that you don't need to refill the tanks. I know my one friend down in Bucklands Beach, they got tanks, and I think they had to refill it once. We had a bit of a drought here where it didn't rain for, I think, about 2 months or so, and they had to refill it once during that period of time. So on that note, yeah, you need for drinking water, you sometimes need a tank. Some places need tanks. If you're in the smaller places, in the smaller little towns, you do need tanks for that. That's one of the questions that Karina has asked us this morning. She said, what else? Oh yeah, these tanks work on a type of filtration system where they clean up the the water as it goes through with either neon light, and it's got a lot of filters, and they do replace these filters from time to time, and that is normally the landlord's responsibility. So they link up and they clean that filters for you. Other questions. Let me see. There was other questions. Elsie asking, is this the same as JoJo tanks that we know? Elsie, most of these tanks are underwater. Oh, sorry, not underwater. It's underground. So some of these tanks are underground. Let's see. It looks like we've got Eduan back. Eduan, there we are back. All right. I've just told them about the drinking water. Do you guys have pipe water, or do you have a tank there?
No, we're in town, so we've got pipe water, but friends of ours that's just like 1 or 2 k's outside the town, they have a tank.
Okay.
And now in the sort of drier times, they have to fill it up at quite a cost.
It's quite expensive, actually, to fill that up.
Yeah.
Question that came in here was, how far are you guys from the beach?
No, we walk to the beach.
It's quite near.
Yeah, probably 300 meters or something.
Okay. You were telling us, Fred, that you get some food and veg from the farmers. Can you guys buy whole sheep from the farmers or not?
I think you can. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
But I know the locals, the Kiwis, they rarely buy meat from the guys that I know that work with me.
Yep.
They sort of have a swapping arrangement. The one guy have a lot of fish, and then they swap it or something like that.
Very, very much the old type of style of bartering rather than using money.
Yes. So the one guy's got eggs and the other guy's got carrots, and then they bring it to work and they swap it.
So you can actually exchange a sheep for a carrot.
Yes, all right.
It's always interesting the ways they come up with different things and things to do. So, what else is interesting in your area?
There's a lot of the. I think the Maori culture is pretty strong here. So there's some of these sites that the guys can visit. We also have in the north, thereby at Pahia, as you would know, this is where they did the Treaty of Waitangi.
That's right. Yep.
So that's a pretty significant site in New Zealand.
That's quite a big site. We were there when it was on a weekend and it was closed, but we still were able to walk around that. That's a massive site. That.
Yes, we also just stopped there and had a quick look, and it is pretty big. I didn't expect it to be that big. And in the summer, the guys go marlin fishing. Yeah.
Okay.
And apparently they're pretty good catching here, and then they smoke the marlins, and there's lots of forests around.
Okay.
We
can go and walk in and stuff like that.
Yes, there's a lot of outdoorsy stuff to do. Yeah.
All right.
There's nice camping in the summer.
Okay. Tell me something. What about schools?
Yeah, there are a few schools around. There's a few, not a lot of high schools, but there are 3 primary schools in the area. It's Waipu Primary, Ruakaka Primary, and 1 3 Point. I think Waipu is probably the biggest with around maybe 300 pupils, and that's only from grade 1 to, I think, grade 6.
Okay.
Then they have to go to intermediate school and then high school. I don't understand it 100% yet. There's only 1 high school here, Bream Bay, but many people prefer to send their kids to Whangarei. There's a bus going every day. Yeah. So the schools I think the primary schools are pretty okay. The system is just a lot different than what we're used to in South Africa.
Yeah. Well, one question was asked, but you've already answered it. Was how big is the South African community? Edward says he knows about 30 people there, but probably there's more.
But in Whangarei, we're in the Afrikaans church in Whangarei, ACK, and our our congregation, we're just over 100, and that's only only church-going people that are Afrikaans in Whangarei. So
Yeah,
I
that's
think,
big.
yeah, you can probably times that by 3 if you include people that don't attend church and English guys. So
That's
yeah.
right. It's quite interesting. We stopped at a little bakery down in Whangarei the day that we went up to Paya, and the lady behind us helped us, and she was from Durban. So wherever you go in New Zealand, you find South Africans somewhere along, even if they've been here for many years. So
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, one of our friends, he's also an Indian guy from Durban. He's an operator at the refinery, and he's been here for 15 years.
okay.
He said when he came here, he was the only guy here.
Yeah, there's quite a big difference between the South African Indians and the real Indians here. So, but if you think about it, South Africa's got the second biggest Indian population in the world, which is quite interesting. So,
Yes. No,
yeah.
there's actually a few of my friends that work with me at the refinery. They work with me in South Africa as well, Indian guys. So
Okay.
yeah, we get together for a braai and or they make us some curry. So it's pretty good.
Oh, there's something about the Indians making curry. I don't know, but geez, they just
Yeah, they just get it right.
they just get it right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we've got a little Indian shop down at the bottom here as well. And once lockdown is open, that'll be one of the places I really go and visit. So, yeah. What else can you tell us that's interesting about Ruakaka?
Yeah, I don't know. It's very small. And it's very spread out town, so we're
Yeah.
so small, but it's about 5 k's from here to the shop still. So we live in the far end. In the summer, there's a life-saving school here at the beach.
Okay.
So on Sunday mornings, you can take your kids for lessons there. Um, and then they learn how to do life-saving, and they're pretty well equipped. BP sponsors it.
Yeah.
They've got boats and rubber ducks and everything.
And this is part of their school training, basically.
No, you can decide whether you want to go or not.
Okay.
It's not compulsory. It's not affiliated to any school.
All right.
Yeah, and the school where my son is, they have a subject surfing, which was interesting to me. Yeah, and like you probably know, swimming is compulsory at school, so it's like one of the subjects in summer.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to take your what they call togs, your swimming costume to school, and yeah, you have to have a letter if you can't swim that day.
But I think it's a very good thing. I mean, New Zealand is surrounded by the ocean all over, and I mean, you can't really not swim and live here. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, no, it is. You need to do something with the water, otherwise,
definitely.
You miss an opportunity.
Yeah. Have you bought your boat yet?
No, I looked at it, but I found it extremely expensive. There was like sort of one standard vanilla flavored boat that I saw in Whangarei, and it was $55,000, and I thought, that's too much.
That's way expensive. It's interesting that this boat going countries, the boats is very expensive here, and if you get something for cheap, probably the engine has been blown or something like that.
Yeah, and what I also found expensive here is because lots of people, they love camping and going caravan. Yeah, and the second-hand caravans are also, they're more than I expected. Cars are not expensive, but
no, cars are cheap.
Yeah, caravans, they're pretty expensive.
Yeah, we've bought one of the imported English caravans the other day, and I've even looked at importing one myself, but I couldn't do that. I could probably get about $2,000 discount if I do it myself, but it's a heck of a story to import a caravan. So yeah, the importing cost is quite hectic, and I think that's why your imported caravans is so expensive. But one thing that really catches me is these old caravans. I don't know if you've seen them. This vintage 1970 stuff. Geez, they go for $30,000 easily.
Yeah, no, I thought it looks like a wreck, and it will in South Africa you'll pay my 10,000 rand maybe for it. Yeah.
If somebody just doesn't give it away, I mean, in South Africa that thing won't even be on the road, but here it's on the road and it's costing a hell of a lot of money. So
yeah, so for me that was strange because everybody loves camping and caravanning here.
Yeah. Have you done that yet or not?
Yeah, we don't have a caravan, but I ordered the tent from Torpedo 7.
Okay.
So we went to Patau in January. It's about half an hour north of Whangarei on the coast. And yeah, it was a great spot. We were right on the beach, and the weather it was that hot spell we had in January.
Okay.
Yeah, so the weather was very good. So yes, I found the campsite, the location is pretty good, but I think in terms of amenities, it was pretty basic.
Okay.
But yeah, we went with a bunch of friends, so it was fun.
All right. What is the rental cost for houses in Ruakaka?
Well, we have a pretty small 3-bedroom here, but we've got a nice outside area, and we're in a nice part of town, and our water and lights are included, and I pay $570 per week.
Okay, so it's very much on par with all the other places as well.
Yeah. So it's you can get cheaper, but we also, we only have, when I came here, we only had 3 weeks to find a place because my company paid for 3 weeks accommodation, and then we had to move out. So
okay.
we also have animals, so that makes your choices pretty limited in what you can get.
Oh yeah, especially if you've got animals, and I mean they like to charge you more just because you've got animals. So
yeah.
But yep. So if you could get a job anywhere else, would you move?
I think I'll consider it. What I found is there in the north part of Auckland, we went there to write our English tests. Massey University there.
Okay, North Shore, that area.
Yes. What was it? I can't remember if it's Browns Bay or Dairy Flat, that area. That I really like that area because it's still sort of rural, but everything is close.
Yeah, 5 minutes out of town.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's nice to stay in a small town like this, I think. But sometimes I think the children miss out on some opportunities. And everything is a drive,
That's right.
But for now, I'm not desperate to move anywhere at this stage. Yeah. But let's see what life after COVID-19 brings us.
It is. Hey, that'll be interesting to see. And I mean, you being in the fuel industry, that suddenly I think you guys will start getting busy again now, especially with the oil prices being as low as it is now.
Yes, we are making some operational plans at the refinery to run at optimum. Like I said, it's very, very quiet at the moment.
Yeah.
But I think as soon as the flights start picking up, then we will definitely get busier.
Yeah, start running away again. So yeah, very, very soon we will hear. I think it's the 20th that they said that we will hear. It's at 4 days' time where we are going. So
yeah. Well, at work we already at my work and my wife's job, we're starting to prepare for level 3. How are we going to handle that level 3 restriction? Okay. So I think if our cases remain as low as they've been for the last few days, expectation is us to go to level 3 sometime next week, I think.
Yeah. I definitely think that will be the case, and I think it will probably be about a month in level 3 just to see that everything is really as good as it looks on paper. So
yeah,
it's going to take some time. But it's a new world we're living in. We're living history currently. It's quite interesting.
Yes, no, it is. It's unprecedented, and I think if people expect things to return to normal when this is over, they're going to be disappointed.
Oh yeah. Any last words from your side regarding Ruakaka?
Yeah, that's. I think I'm privileged to live here. I think our weather is probably of the mildest in New Zealand. We don't have heaps of rain. We do get lots of rain, but in the summer it's not. I think our winters are pretty mild. We rarely get strong winds. So I think in terms of if your kids are small, this is a great place to live. And to get about. Yes, and I would encourage anybody to come here for holiday or whatever. I think it's less expensive than other parts of New Zealand to go on holiday. And yeah, for the moment, we're really enjoying it.
Yeah. No, definitely we want to do a bit of a trip, but I think our next trip will probably be South Island because I've never been there. And then as soon as summer breaks again, probably back to Bahia. I just love that area. That's
This Bahia is magnificent.
oh,
We were
stunning
only
area.
there for a day or two, and I told my wife we need to come back here. There's a guest house there owned by two old South Africans from Roodepoort.
Okay.
Yeah, we stayed there and we really enjoyed it.
All right. Eduan, thanks a lot for joining us this morning. I'll speak to you a bit later again.
Okay, thanks, Jan, and thanks for everything. And stay well. Enjoy the day.
Thanks, mate. Right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Stay well. Bye.
Guys, that was Eduan all the way from Ruakaka. Had a bit of a hiccup there for a few seconds, but we've got him back then eventually. There's about 4 minutes left over. Today, or actually yesterday, late marked the time that we went over to 2 million infections on COVID-19. And as currently, I can't see the death rate or the infection rate really slowing down. I just want to say that I think New Zealand has done a brilliant job, really, a magnificent job in the fight against COVID-19. And I think the fact that we went hard into lockdown, I mean, we went like crazy into lockdown, and a lot of people really took it upon themselves to bring their best to the table. I think that helped us a heck of a lot. So even now, if you go outside, you'll see people with masks on everywhere. If you go to the shopping center, people are standing 2 meters apart. Very rarely do you see anybody actually breaking these rules and regulations that are set around. And I mean, these aren't hard and fast rules and regulations. You probably could get a fine if you don't do it. But at the end of the day, it's all about yourself. And I see people has really taken that on themselves, not to break the barriers that was set there. There's no security guards checking that you are 2 meters apart, and the police aren't checking that you are 2 meters apart. But it just happens, and people just do that. And I think that has been a big thing that has brought the whole COVID-19 under control in New Zealand. I mean, it could have really run away. There's so many other countries in the world that it's just running away, and it's sad that it's happening that way. I do understand why some countries don't close their borders, or that they don't close or go into lockdown. Other countries are in lockdown, and the death toll just keeps on piling up. It's actually hectic out there. So whatever Jacinda did wrong in the past, she's a bit forgiven. But I think the future will hold a big thing for all of us. The future will hold a good time for us to see where we are really going. And as Eduan said, in 4 days' time, we will hear where we are going. In about a week's time from now, we will probably go back into level 3. Level 3 is not that much different from level 4 here, but at the end of the day, that is also back to the restrictions that we had in the past, and I think that restrictions won't be lifted that quickly. So for those people who still want to come over here, borders probably will remain closed for quite a while. I've got no inclination that they will even open the borders that quickly. I think before September, don't expect any fireworks at all, really. That is really sad for the guys that's still out there, really sad for the people that's families are still out there. So got a question here, Byron Coop asking, how does level 3 affect the immigration process? I think level 3 on the immigration process will probably be very much the same as level 4. I can't see any big changes there. And as Vanita said, borders will remain closed for a while. Vanita can also probably just make a note on that, on the level 3 to level 4 setup. But I doubt if anything will change. That is really, there's still a lot of Kiwis out there stuck in different countries. And probably the government will do a repatriation flight one another time to bring those guys back home. But that's all that I can probably think that will happen within the next foreseeable future in level 3. I doubt if they will bring any commercial flights except cargo back to the island. So And that is for our own good. That is to keep us safe, because we only need one infection coming off a plane, and that we're back to square one. So I think until the rest of the world is not in control, then we won't have open borders again. And I know a lot of people say that this is the same as the flu. The flu kills about 127,000 people per year. We're down to 130,000 this morning, and we're in the 4th month of the year. Let's keep that in mind. Guys and girls, on that part, all the way from Welcome Bay, my name is Jan Viljoen. I'm not a immigration advisor. I'm a financial advisor. So if you need any help with any of your insurance, or have any problems with your insurance, or if there's anybody out there stuck and you can't pay your insurance anymore, feel free to get hold of me. Feel free to contact me, reach out, send me a PM, or if you look on the page, all my details is there. Send me an email, like a lot of other people are doing. Thanks a lot. Thanks to everybody who listened this morning to me. Everybody else have a brilliant day, and to the South Africans, sleep safe tonight. All right, guys and girls, see you all later. Thank you. Bye bye.